We're celebrating the new book, Son of Southtown, with the mighty p.o.d. frontman, Sonny Sandoval. Sonny, why is it time to write this book, and how cathartic is it to get your feelings out and now to see the feedback from people that are inspired by your story?
This book is it's just an extension of who I am and what I've always wanted to accomplish, and I'm still accomplishing in this band. It's a fast forward look through my life of where I grew up, my family, all the good and bad decisions, the neighborhood can get you into, and finding my faith, my mother passing away, and joining a band that we thought we'd never leave San Diego, and then here we are, 33 years later, still traveling the world, and but still with the same message. I want people to experience a God of love, a God of hope, and I've always been that way. And this book just tells that story. It's not a how to do life, in 5 steps. It's not who has those answers. Life life is a trip. It kind of explains my experiences through rock and roll, where people dream of this. They dream of being on stage. They dream of fame, money, all these things. But I'm still that kid who had an awakening, with God, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. And even though the world is very enticing and there's so much glitter and gold out there that a lot of it is distracting, and I've tried my best. I'm not a perfect man throughout my career, but I never I don't want that stuff, you know what I mean? And I want to give people hope that, man, especially today with everything on the internet and social media, we're living in a plastic and fake world, and that's not medicine to your soul. It's some type of a filler to your ego in your head, and it's false. And so the same thing with music, man. I want people to feel good after they listen to our music. I want them to find their smile, happiness. And I know POD has always wanted that. All the guys, you ask any of the guys, it's like we just have always wanted to inspire people with our music. And this book is just an extension of that.
Well, I know you've learned a lot of life lessons, in your decades with p.o.d. And like you say, an important one is all that glitters is not gold. You grow up and you see the guy down the block with the fancy car and the jewelry, and then you understand he got that from
Hmm.
selling drugs and hurting people, getting them hooked on crack and stuff like that. And you realize
Yeah.
that to be humble and to be you know, um, you know, just enjoying life, just be happy is more important than all the material
Yeah.
things. And like you say, I always say the internet is one of the best things and
100%.
the worst things that ever happened because, yeah, we can now email and we can go
Agree.
online, but, people are making all this hate speech and these fake, things on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You see these so-called artists, they say, "Oh man, I got 50,000 followers on IG," but they can't draw five people to a club. What's up with that?
Yeah.
It's like you say, it's kind of
Yeah.
this
It's,
facade. Are those
it
friends? Or are those
is
just people that have
100%.
clicked on your site?
Yeah, 100%, man. And it's kind of just it's imaginary. You can be whatever you want, you can say whatever you want. That's your world. And most people are unhappy behind their phones or their computers, but it's like this fake imaginary world that you can do. And those that are actually living that, they're putting out this false hope to people, to kids that are looking and say, man, I'll never be that beautiful. I'll never be that skinny. I'll never be that rich. And it's just this. Now we have depression and more so than ever, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, all this stuff that our kids have to go through because they don't realize that they're not living in this isn't a real world. Back in the day, we went outside and we played football in the street. We went to whatever, watch the sunset, go hiking, go to the beach, and experience real life. Make real relationships, look people in the eye. It was a different world for us, and so it's tough nowadays. And so I just again, it's just us trying to say, hey, man, just we want people to find themselves.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, back in the day, like you say, you could entertain yourself with a ball and a yard, man, for hours, or
A
a bike.
yo-yo, bro.
Yeah, man. You got a bike, you could just ride it forever and all of
Forever.
that. And it's just important to enjoy the simpler things, in life
Yes, sir.
and understand, we're not competing with each other. You got to find out where your
No.
happiness comes from. And interpersonal relationships are something. I've been a promotion man now for 50 years. And when I tell the younger
Mm.
generation that I help break some of their favorite artists with no computers, no cell phones, no
Yeah.
internet, no
Don't
social media, no texting, their head
understand.
explodes. They're like, how?
Yeah,
Why?
bro.
You know?
Oh, bro, they don't understand when we would tour or play a show, we'd have a notepad and
Yeah.
we'd ask people, dude, put your name and your home number. There were no cell numbers, hey, put your address because we wanted to, send you a flyer when next time we played a show and but that was a beautiful thing. It taught us how to work, but it also kept us in a balance of time. You know what I mean? And now everything is so fast. It's like our eyes are spinning around in our skulls. It's just too much content. There's too much stuff, and we're not paying attention to the little things or the beautiful things. Everything is so fast, and so we're kind of like we're addicted to this. Just swipe it, scroll it. Like let's keep going, keep it moving. We're even talking faster. We're living faster when we really do. It's important to slow down. It's important to breathe. And so we live in a crazy world, bro.
Yeah, it is. I go to the gym every morning early to start my day, and I see people just glued to their phone. I'm like, are you here to work out? Or are
Oh,
you
it
here
makes
to
no sense.
just scroll on your phone, or you go to concerts, everybody's holding up their phone
Yeah,
and just enjoying the concert. It's like, what are you going to do with that video? It's crappy quality, just enjoy the show. And I see bands like Ghost and more and more bands that say, no, we're going to zip your
yeah,
phone. Your phone is going to be untouchable until you leave this show,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and people say, man, it brings us back to those days where everybody's just enjoying the show. You're not trying to dodge and look over all these cell phones.
It's crazy. They're just trying to feed that animal. Yeah, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna do this. Like you're not enjoying the moment. And unfortunately, sadly, I don't know if that's gonna change. I mean, us old schoolers get it, but these new kids, they're just it's kind of like a slow brainwashing, and it's sad. So parent your kids right. Get
Yeah,
them off their phones.
yeah. Build those interpersonal relationships. You see,
Yes.
these two young kids, they're in a room, but rather than talk to each other, they're texting each other,
Yep.
and they're only a few feet apart.
Yeah, they don't know how to communicate. And these are lifelong skills. I mean, these are human skills, and now we're numb to that. We're taking it away. In my book promo, I'm doing meet and greets, and I always meet people, even at shows. But
Yeah,
a lot of these young kids, man, they don't even know how to look you in your eyes, and they don't know how to shake your hand. They don't know how to say hello. My name is so and so. They're just it's sad. And then when you do see the kids, I had a kid walk up to me and say, "Hey, how you doing, Sonny? I'm Gabriel, and I love your music. Can you please sign my book?" And it's like, see, this kid knows what's up. He's got parents that are teaching him right, and correctly, and it's sad. The majority of our kids just don't know how to function, and so yeah, then they grow up, and then they start to experience loneliness, and then they're afraid to go outside. They're afraid to mingle with people. They're afraid to be social, and that's serious. This isn't, yeah, we should be paying attention to this stuff because where are we going to be in 10 years from now, 20
yeah.
years, 30 years? It's going to be sad.
Yeah, it's frightening to think how fast things are moving. What is it going to look like in 2 years, 5 years from now?
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah.
Now obviously you got a lot of fans of your music, but there's a lot of people out there still just becoming aware of POD and understanding
Yeah.
who you are. What message can you say to them why reading this book would be a great move for them?
I mean, I think you'll find yourself in this. You know what I mean? You don't, like I say, you don't have to be in a rock and roll band to face struggles and temptations and addictions and all these different things. That's just regular life. Life is this crazy world is, once you you have faith and believe like I do, and you believe in the spiritual world and all that stuff, you 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 believe that this world is here. It's yeah, it wants to take you down. Of course, there's beautiful things in this world, but there's so much distractions. So I want you to find yourself in this. I want you to see that, the decisions and the choices that you make, you're not perfect, you're going to make mistakes. But I know with my faith in God, it's kept me balanced, and it's kept me on a narrow road, and stopping me from getting trouble, stopping me, like you said, from, selling drugs and or trying to get the easy way out, or make this decision. It's kept me level headed, and that's not something you learn overnight. This is a lifetime journey, but I know who God says that I am. I know who God created me to be. And when you know what God thinks about you and who he created you to be, you know who you are. People are walking around today, they don't know who they are, but that's because they don't know what God thinks of them. And unfortunately, religion has guilted us and shamed us and made us feel not good enough. And there's nothing we can do that's worthy. And that's not what the Bible says. God loves us just the way we are. He created us for a purpose and a plan. And I want people to find that so that they can live their life free, and they can live their life, not stressing out and not worried about the world falling apart around them, because they'll know that God is in control of everything. And so, at the end of the day, they just need to know that they're loved. That's all, by God and by me.
Well, it is an amazing book. We want to encourage everyone to go out and get Son of Southtown out now. And new music always coming, and tour dates. Go to the website payableondeath.com. P.o.d. is coming for you, and it is a treat to talk to you, Sonny, and we can't wait till our next conversation. Man,
Thank
blessings
you,
to you,
brother.
your family, and to all your fans out there. Please have a great year.
You too, brother. Thank you so much, man.